And we are live. Hi, welcome back to another episode of the Infinite Podcast. It's been one hell of an amazing week in gaming. I mean, has it though? I mean, it's been actually pretty quiet, but whatever. There's lots of stuff happening that we can talk about, lots of gaming news, lots of games coming down the pipe, actually. Mr. Bushido in the chat, welcome. Fuck you, what a legend. I'm not saying fuck you to Mr. Bushido, that's actually his name. The game adaptation news, Grey Monad, BT Maverick, you guys are all absolutely amazing. I appreciate you guys come through every week. So salutations to all you guys. Donte is on the way, but we will intro Umbra. How you doing? How's your week been? What have you been up to? I'm going to do a quick reboot because I haven't got any sound.
I am super.
EV Mux.
EV Mux. EV Mux. What the
EV
tux?
sucks.
EV sucks. EV sucks. Yeah, man, it's been an interesting week for me. I this past Saturday I had a roundtable discussion of Avowed with Slow-Mo Backslap and Lucius Augustus. And then I got the bright idea to mess with OBS a little bit and try to create a new profile for a gaming profile for this new PC of mine to try to record gaming off of this if ever I wanted to. And possibly, I think I was trying to get capture for from Split Fiction. And in doing so, I thought that I was deleting a duplicate source from one of the profiles. Turns out, no, it just deleted my entire setting for the fix. And I was nearly in a panic because it deleted not only the source, the setup, right? It deleted my files from my PC. Like, it deleted the video files that I would have from my opening theme. It deleted my music. It deleted my thumbnail. It deleted, not my thumbnails, my UI. It deleted everything. So I was like, no. I was, yeah.
No.
So I was in a bit of a tailspin. Shout out to Asante, who I berated to help me.
You should thank me first for telling you to call Asante.
Yes, thank you, Ali, for insisting to call the genius that is K. And yeah, K helped me out. He tried to lecture me, but I was so like frustrated. I was like, I did kind of like, listen, I don't want to hear this. Tell me how to fix it. I can get like that. But yeah, He helped me out and lectured me along the way. And I tried to deflect from it being my fault, but it was ultimately my fault. But yeah, it worked out, man. And I got my settings back mostly. Yesterday I go live, right? And for those who were there, they know my audio setup was still not there because I was using a backup setting or scene rather, and it did not have my audio capture for Discord from the guests. I had my mic set up, but not theirs. So it was like 40 minutes trying to tinker with that and get that right. And OBS wasn't putting the audio there until I closed down the stream and shut down OBS and opened it back up. Then it popped up, and I was like, "What the?" So, fortunately, we still jumped back on. It was myself, it was Danny, it was Hargeet, and eventually, I Love Coffee toward the end of the show. We had a really good discussion, so it was really good. So, you guys, if you haven't, check out the episode of The Fix from yesterday. It was pretty damn good, in my opinion. We had a lot of good discussions. But yeah, man. Other than that, had been playing few games here and there, and I'll let Holly tell the rest. But yeah, happy to be here with you guys tonight. Thank you, everybody in the chat. For those that might be estranged, not understanding, if you see them telling me I'm gassy and all that other nonsense, Holly started that, and it was because I was a pig in that Split Fiction, farting rainbow.
Listen to him making up stuff so fast, trying to cover his butt, literally.
don't listen to her. She has tried to tear me asunder in my reputation. I am not gassy. I don't need gas.
Was it you that
at this moment
tore you asunder, or was the gas that tore you asunder?
But other than that, yeah, happy to have you all here. No more gas jokes, so everybody's being modded. Okay. All right.
Immediately, one comes through in the chat. Love it.
Right. And it had to be Gray of all people.
Holly, I did hear something about this. I didn't know the pretext because I've been working a week. But Holly, how's your week been? I know you got streaming, and I haven't had a chance to jump in the stream for two reasons. One, I don't like your channel. Two, no. 3 reasons. One,
Probably 2.
I've been at work. I've been working like flat out. And 2, I don't want to see any of Split Fiction because I want to play it. Like, but I don't have any friends. That'll be straight on the internet. They'll be clipping it, saying I've been crying in my car again. Holly, how's your week been? What have you been up to?
You should play with Monad. You know, only one of you has to get it.
Oh, we are.
And then,
yeah, we decided. So the plan was to play it with my son, and I'm like, I'll help you move all this furniture if you play this game with me. And then every time I've texted him like Split Fiction is out. Oh, do you want to play it? He just ghosts. He just does not respond. And I'm like, all right.
Did you do your part yet? Did you do the moving part yet?
Yeah, I did all that part.
Okay.
Yeah. Drove him around, all that bit. Yeah, he's just ghosting me. Kids for you. How's your week been? What have you been up to? How's the channel going? How's the stream?
Good. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. It's one of those things. I wanted to be a little more like everything put together and all that stuff, right? But like it's kind of you just gotta rip the Band-Aid off, right? And just get going, and things will improve over time, and I'll figure out what I'm doing. Gotta practice to get better, right? So I have some really nice art made by a friend. All of my scenes look really nice. For me, and that's what it should be, right? Because it's my channel. And Umbra very graciously offered or begged. It was really begged to play Split Fiction with me. So
don't listen to her.
Well, playing it on stream would be a great icebreaker for a new channel. So that's what we've been doing. And FarQ is the world's 4 leading AI genius in most ridiculous pictures ever. So he has been providing thumbnails for me. So if you don't want to watch a stream, I totally get that, because Split Fiction, I haven't wanted to see anything coming either. I've avoided like seeing almost anything about it because I want to be surprised as we're playing. So so it's been really nice. It's been really fun. So I totally understand people don't want to know. Maybe just go pop in and leave a comment later, maybe a like if you're so inclined. But I have 4 videos on my channel now, and it's just Split Fiction. I think we have one more session and we should have it done. It should be completed. It's really, really good. The story is not as good as It Takes Two, in my opinion. But It Takes Two is pretty special, right? Because it's emotional, and it's a very like, hey, you did it.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Did you just turn me to a damn trans person?
That's out of pocket right there.
This is the ass out of pocket. And I saw it before he loaded it. I'm like, what's this at the bottom right? And then it goes into the main screen. I'm like, oh, hell no.
What have they done?
And I'm like, whose legs are those? And then I look and I go, ain't that my thing? You sons of bitches.
Farky made that for me a few days ago, and I said, oh my gosh. And so I sent it to Riskit. I was like, you have to use this for his picture. Like, I wanted him to use it as your like profile picture.
You set me up. I didn't know you had. I didn't even know you had this one in the chamber. You see this, Donte?
Kills me. This picture is so hilarious in all the right ways.
Y'all just forced me into the LGBT community. Ain't that something? That's messed up.
I didn't want to change the profile because I don't know if we'd have to fiddle around and change it back. And you got new piece. I don't know if you have the files on there, so I thought I would just bring it up. But fuck you. Perfect work. Love it. Hilarious.
Bushido said, now hear me out.
Someone's in the chat like, you know what? Smash. Like, slow down, y'all.
Jackson, I can't unsee this. What the hell? See what you all did to them? Poor fellow.
Anytime that you guest on my channel from here on out, I'm going to put that with special guest and have that little picture.
It's like I'm gonna be out there like fame. I'm gonna live forever.
Anyway, it's really good. So if I think after we finish Split Fiction, I'm gonna go to Doom Eternal, courtesy of BT Maverick. He gifted me for my birthday Doom Eternal, and I haven't played it, and I'm obsessed with Doom: The Dark Ages. So it'll be a good primer for that. Hopefully, I can finish it before. I should be able to finish it pretty quickly, I think, depending on how bad I suck at it. But yeah. So that'll be coming up. I think Umbra and I are gonna try to finish Split Fiction maybe tomorrow. So after that, I will. I have a couple of things coming up life-wise this week, which is going to throw me a little off kilter. But after that, I should be able to set like a regular schedule so that my streaming is just kind of consistent and people know when. And I will put that up when I have that schedule after this week. So in the meantime, it'll just be fly by night. So I guess you'll just have to subscribe and hit the bell to know when I go live. All the things that YouTubers say. Yep. I have 69. I have 69 subs right now.
Perfect number.
I mean, yeah, I had to, right? So I've done a poll in the chat. Would you pass or smash? And it's sitting at pretty much 50-50 at the moment.
But so it's only yes or no. There's no actual.
We could be onto something here. We could be onto something. I mean, pass is no, and smash is yes. So I think this could be a thing. I have to send you over some fishnets and.
FarQ trying to act like he regrets his choice. Oops. No, you didn't know. Oops. You knew. You knew what you wanted.
Donte also looking tight in that. Love that. I love the blue, love the white. He looking good, man. Looking sharp. I like this.
What's up?
I like
What's up, everybody?
How's your week been? What have you been up to? How's six?
Yeah. Week is cool, man. Week has been good. Really busy or getting busy on the work front. About to get into that busy time of year for us, anyway. But outside of that, I've been playing. I've actually been playing the Phantom Liberty DLC finally for Cyberpunk, man. And it's just I'm just really kind of engrossed in that right now. It's just so good, man. So yeah, you need to you need to get off your ass, and you got to actually just get in there and play the game at this point, man, because it's really good. It's got me. It's some parts within the game where like without
some feels
it.
Some
Without
feels
spoiling it, there's some feels, right? And there's a person who I'm kind of like, oh man, you want to, like, do I trust her? I think I trust her, but then something just happened where I'm kind of like, damn, you would have just, oh damn, should I have trusted you? So like, I'm curious to see how that's gonna turn out, because I think I'm rounding to the end of it. But yeah, I've been having a blast with that, and I think after that's done, I don't know, man. We'll see what the next game's gonna be. But happy to be here. Hope everybody's been having a good week. Shout out to the chat.
Should be Shadows. I think is the next one off is the next big release.
Yeah.
I'm being
that. Is that next week?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
Okay.
I was tempted to buy Cyberpunk on Steam, by the way, but
yeah.
Oops, let me mute my phone.
Yeah, I think when I upgrade my unit, when I upgrade my PC and get like a really dope card, I'm gonna buy it on PC, because I want to really see
I own it like
all its graphical glory.
Yeah, I own it 2 or 3 different ways. And I haven't played it on PC. I have it, but I haven't played it.
Poor man is narcoleptic.
Right there. Somebody's hating right there.
Are we still talking about Cyberpunk and PCs? I'll come back later.
Get you in there, Riskit. Gotta get you in there, bro. Gotta get you in there.
I can't believe you still denying yourself to
you're holding
playing
out,
the Cyberpunk.
So you gotta rip that Band-Aid off and just get.
He's gonna play it. He is gonna play it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you gotta as soon as you start. I see proof of you beginning God of War. It's 2018. You haven't played yet. God of War 2018. As soon as you boot that game, I will go and play.
Let's do that. Holly, you gotta do God of War, and Riskit, you gotta do Cyberpunk.
He made that bet with me a little bit before Christmas. I said yes.
Let's do it. Let's do it. That way we can have some.
It's not something I hear from ladies very often either.
Some conversation.
Yes.
Yes.
So my week, if you guys don't know, I have shifted into a sort of a new role, which sort of has me working that 5 and 2 through the week, working 9 to 5. I'm actually working 8 till 4, so I can't complain. But it sort of stops me. A lot of the podcasts, the stuff and the streams and all, I don't have time to jump in, and I can't just jump in and watch. So it's a bit annoying. I usually get every second one with everyone's podcast streams and all that sort of stuff. So apologies if you guys are out there. If anyone's watching this that's running a podcast and is like, where's Riskit? I haven't been in Colts very much. Try to get him when I can. It's been super busy, and so busy I'm still playing Avowed. Loving that. I'm in the volcano section. I think it's called something.
You're in like
tusks?
the last area.
Galloway's Tusks.
I'm still playing Avowed.
Oh, one of them.
You're
No,
not-
sorry, you're in the second to last area.
Yeah, second delay. Yeah, so
Yeah, you're right
I
there.
thought I was finishing the game yesterday while I was talking to Monad, and he's like, you still got another area to go. And I'm like, I didn't even get through this area because I realized I was starting to rush it. I'm like, why am I rushing this, man? Like, I'm really enjoying this. Don't rush it. I'm just going to play it through.
Galloway is the last main area, though. I mean, you're going to have an area after that. You already know it because you said it before. But yeah, Galloway is the last main kind of regular area.
Yeah, and then things change. I sort of know a little bit because Monad said a couple of things. I'm like, yeah, cool. I see where this is going to go. But yeah, then it's Shadows. Definitely Shadows coming out next week. So I'll be jumping on that. Looking forward to that. That looks like it's, from all accounts, it looks like it's much improved as well. But looks like a banger. Again, still a little bit disappointed that just with Yasuke's traversal abilities. And I think that'll limit me from playing Yasuke, which is not what I wanted. But then Monad did make a very good point yesterday when we were talking. He said, you could clear it the outside of a fort with Yasuke and then switch to the other character and then sneak on in the inside. You know what I mean? So take out the outside guards and sort of start strategizing with the two of them. So maybe if that's the case,
That's pretty cool.
I might enjoy playing it like that. But I'm just like, Assassin's Creed is about being stealth for me. So I'm a little disappointed that he hasn't got as much stealth moves, much traversal. But so I think I'll lean towards the other character. But good man, it looks crazy. Combat looks great.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Did you
slice somebody up? I was like, dang.
It must be it must be doing pretty well on the pre-sales because they announced today that all of the collector's editions are almost gone. Like they're sold out basically.
Nice.
Which, I thought that was a pretty good sign
I
of
wonder
sales.
how many they have, but yeah, that's good if they're hitting their metrics.
Yeah, I think it's been doing pretty well. I saw them post about it before on some chart and was doing really good. I was going to say, this would have been a perfect opportunity for an actual co-op game for them. Having one person play as Nawe rather, and then one playing as Yasuke. That would have actually been pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see him do that co-op experience and sort of bring it back to Unity because it was the last time they tried it. Obviously, the netcode was an absolute mess. Still is. If you try to play it co-op, it still does really weird stuff. But we'll see. Hopefully, the next one. They did have that idea. We weren't going to talk about Ubisoft today, but they did have that idea where they were going to have the Assassin's sort of infinite hub, right, where you're like everything connected to it. So the next game, and I like that idea. Mainly because of that main story thread that's supposed to run through and line up with all the Assassin's Creed. When he goes where he comes back into the present day because he's not really in the past. He's in that like VR whatever reality. It'd be good if they could do that and then line up all the threads. But that story just went sideways and up and down and all over the shop. It was real hard to follow, and they didn't really put much of a focus on it. But I'd like to sort of see that, and as well have parts of the game where you spend a fair bit of time in the present time too. That would be cool. But anyway, moving on. So first topic off the run this week. It's been a bit of an interesting week. I saw a bit of discourse going back and forth online about this. And I had a good think about it. And I don't know if you guys sort of saw this happening. But, you would have because you guys are all PC shills. FSR 4 is getting some really good feedback. From the looks of it, it looks like it's being comparable, and people are saying it's very comparable to NVIDIA's AI solution. And this is AMD's hardware AI upscaling solution, if you're not sure what FSR is. And FSR 3 is still running, and they're still working on that. There's more to that. We'll get into that in a minute. But Digital Foundry spoke to Mark Cerny earlier in the week, not on air, but through a couple of questions. And one of the things that Mark Cerny said was our target is to have something very similar to FSR 4's upscaler available on the PS5 Pro for 2026 titles as the next evolution of PSSR. So it seems very much like they're evolving the system, right? And I saw a lot of kickback online about this, and a lot of people were saying that, PSSR has failed. It hasn't achieved what it's supposed to do. I'm a little bit sort of on the fence. I think it depends on what angle you look at it from. But to see that they're sort of shifting, with AMD's technology as well. If you don't know, PlayStation has sort of partnered with AMD, and a lot of the research is happening. So one of the things that I sort of thought of this from a sort of a tech standpoint, or from a consumer standpoint. So my thought on this was like, PSSR, in my view, it hasn't really achieved what we were told it was going to achieve. We're not getting, or the people who bought the Pro, because I did not, are not getting what was promised. Yeah, Magnum's in the chat saying the tools. Dealer will find them. He'll be back soon. So shout out to Dealer. He's an absolute legend, by the way. Love that man. And then they're evolving this. So a lot of people are calling this a failure. And I think in one view, you can sort of look at it as it has failed in its first iteration. And I think a lot of people are saying that FSR 4 is them shifting to a FSR 4 is them admitting defeat, and that PSSR has not hit the targets it was supposed to. I don't completely see it that way. They're in partnership, right? So they're going to evolve PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, or whatever it is. They're going to evolve it over time with the tech advancements that that AMD makes. And I think there's nothing wrong with that, and I wouldn't call that a failure. And in that regard, I would call that a success. Rashan Eppinger, is Dealer really coming back? I think he'll be back, dude. Yeah, I do think he'll be back. I don't know if it's going to be anytime soon, but yeah, he's doing stuff.
I haven't talked to the homie in a while. When you talk to him next time, tell him I want to speak with him, Riz.
He's a good dude. Very, 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 very good dude. Lot of time, a lot of respect for Dealer. I guess the other thing is you're using, which everyone does this, Xbox does this, you can turn it on or off, but you're using the community, the PlayStation Pro community, as beta testers, right? To sort of get data points to help inform your AI, and you're helping AMD inform your AI. I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, but when you don't deliver, I feel like it is. I feel like it's, hey, we didn't deliver on this promise. Here comes the next iteration of PSSR, and then boom, 2 years later, we get a new console, and that has the fully spec'd out PlayStation Super Resolution. So I feel like in that regard, it is a failure. And it is just again adds another reason as to why I don't think that it's worth it to get. And if you look back, I can absolutely take the L. If you look back at any of our shows, I was one of the hugest proponents of saying, yeah, like if PlayStation does a Pro, Xbox should do a Pro. The Pro will absolutely smash everything else out of the park. We just haven't seen that. There's more to this, but I just want to get around the panel and sort of get your feeling on the pisser. And see if you guys feel like it's as successful with this iteration happening, that included in the equation. Is it a success, or is this sort of a failure, or is it hit somewhere in the middle? Like, how are you feeling about it, Umbra? Do you think PSSR has achieved what it set out to achieve, or will achieve within its life cycle what it sets out to achieve, keeping in mind we're probably going to get a PlayStation 6 in around about 2028, 2029 latest?
Yeah, that's the thing about it. It's like, how much could it achieve within its time frame? And the thing about it too is that they're always improving on it. So it's going to be a next iteration. I think Cerny already talked about PSSR 2 or PSSR 2 coming out next year, right? So it's always an iteration improvement. So I don't know. I guess is the best way I can put that. I'm guessing they'll always try to improve it, much like they do with FSR itself, moving from being more of a because they like if each FSR has its own upscaling tech that it focused on, right? For like one, it was temporal. FSR2 and 3 was more AI, closer to DLSS, for instance, right? So, but they still pale in comparison to DLSS 4. But I don't know if I would say it's a failure so much as it's limited for what it is. The FSR, I think 4 would just shine better on, and you can cue the music. PC versus yes, the enlightened sprinkles, but it's more suited for that versus what this is, and I think that's really what it is, and I think they're just going to keep improving upon it. So I don't know if I can say that it's a failure, and I feel like I'm talking like Nib right now, and I'm like about to start putting type of praise on this thing, but I don't know. I think Cerny, he, like I said, he spoke about this and he talked about how they have this kind of symbiotic relationship, and one is improving the other, and and the other one is improving the other as well. So I don't quite have the answer to that, but in some cases we have seen where it's definitely helped. I know for instance, in 1440 cases, it does do a decent job from what I've seen, and that's for FSR as well. So I don't know ultimately, but there have been people who I know who have the Pro, for instance, and it hasn't been a super improvement either. So you know what I mean? Like that, I think the Pro itself has been more of what people would say has been the failure versus the Pisser itself, if that makes sense. Because I don't think people have gotten any use much out of their what's this correction? What's this? Let me stop reading these comments. Anyway,
Well,
anyway,
yeah, like you're saying there, I don't see. So it sort of further pushes the narrative, or not the narrative, but the idea for me is that the utility's not there, because it's just not going to have the life cycle. You know, if you're buying this as a console, you're going to have for the next 5 to 8 years, then I can see the utility of like buying a console that doesn't quite have the AI right, the upscaling right, and then they iterated on it, and then you end up at a place where like, oh, this is killing it, right? There is also then to say like FSR 4 is like huge leap, the biggest leap that AMD's sort of seen in their upscaling tech, and very comparable to NVIDIA. So maybe there's going to be a huge leap, but then I just, if you're releasing a console in 2028, we're sitting at 2025, you get 3 years worth of use out of it. I personally don't see the utility for the price. In Australia, you're talking, $1,300 for the sake of 3 years. That's not something I would outlay personally.
And I guess that makes sense too. And again, the thing is about it with FSR technology and the Pisser is that they're kind of symbiotic, as I mentioned earlier. So one is helping to improve the other. So you could probably say that while the Pisser is getting DNA tech, I guess, from FSR is kind of using the PlayStation as a test bed, so to speak. You know what I mean?
As beta testers, right?
Yeah. So yeah. So that's I guess is a way to look at it in that way. And I know like for the console it's targeting 30 to 60, and for PC is higher than that. So I wouldn't quite say that it's a failure versus it's not at its peak just yet. And again, if he's talking about the next iteration dropping in 2026, then I don't know. Can we say it's a failure versus they're just still working on it? You know what I mean? It's the same thing. Like, and I saw some people already saying get the tools and all that in the chat.
Is that an upgrade? Like if you're a PS5 user, is the next iteration going to be able to be uploaded to your machine?
I couldn't really hear you. Is Donte low for anybody else?
I've turned him up. Yeah, you better there. Yeah, but that's, guess Donte, that's what we're sort of, I was sort of posing that question, right? That if the upgrade this time around for FSR 4 with Pisser is significant, then I guess, I would say not a failure. But also, I feel like it's this thing that we keep doing. We do it with games, do it with hardware, or the industry, keeps doing.
But he's asking He's asking though if it's just a software upgrade push, like, or is it, or do you have to get or is it a whole hardware upgrade? Right?
Yes.
That's what you're asking. Yeah.
That is
What
correct.
FSR 4 is hardware based AI upscaling. So Pissa built that in, and so that could probably be upgraded with software. So it's a bit of a weird question, right? So not weird question, but a bit of a weird answer, because it is the hardware that's going to get upgraded, but the software drives the hardware. So they'll upgrade the software, so the software implements the hardware much better, if that makes sense. So yes, sort of is a hardware upgrade, but it depends on how well they can implement it. Like, what can they do with the hardware that they've got in the box, and the software running.
I'm just looking at it from a standpoint of, if Cerny's like, yeah, 2026, a kind of an improved version of it comes out, does that help or benefit someone who owns a PS5 Pro, right? Where they would be able to take advantage of that? Because if not, and it's just going to be like, wait for the PS6, then yeah, that is a failure for you. If you're like,
I would
didn't get
agree
it,
with that.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't get a chance to
Yeah.
take advantage of that, right? I bought this, and then I was the test bed for it, and then it finally started working to the way you guys envisioned on the next hardware, where I'd have to fork out another, $600-700, whatever the next PS device is going to cost. So that's the reason why I was.
Or you can argue too that if FSR, for instance, is taking a hold of on other games, cross-platform games, and then implemented into PlayStation as well using FSR, then you'd be like, okay, well, then what was use of the pisser then? If these games are using FSR technology, so that could be another way too. So it's two ways it could be seen as a failure. One, Dante's right. One is if it doesn't happen until the PS6, and we didn't really get a utilization on the PS5 Pro here, or FSR technology is improved to the point that they can use it in cross-platform titles. We benefit for on Xbox, for instance, and people on PS5 in general benefit from FSR because of the cross-platform titles. And yeah, it would be a failure too.
And there is a fair bit of nuance in that conversation, because I did a lot of digging, because I had a conversation about whether FSR4 is coming to Xbox. But before I jump into that, because I did happen to find something, it's quite interesting. Holly, how you feeling PS5 Pro as a generation right now? Looking at I hate to call it the pisser, but looking at how the pisser has sort of come out, as opposed to what the expectations were. I mean, my expectations were we'd see a decent enough leap, not just some sharpening of graphics, but I mean, maybe your expectations are different. As opposed to, and then looking at this upgrade, do you think it's failed? Do you think it's hit the mark? Do you think PS5 Pro has been a worthy device, or has it been, as it has been called, I think, on Digital Foundry, the most the useless piece of hardware that they've ever seen come out? Which is, I'm paraphrasing.
Is that a quote? Okay.
But paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what he said.
Like, got it.
He's it's hardware we just don't need. Which is very much what he said, which I thought was whoa. But Holly, where you sitting with it?
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I don't know. I have
what?
like next. Honestly, I've tried to read some stuff on this stuff, and I'm just like, gibberish.
Let's
Like,
simplify it, because I do get what you mean, and I was too also like, okay, because I don't like to get into the technical.
I mean, I have opinions on what the PS5 Pro is doing, but it has nothing to do with all of these shenanigan words that you're using. I don't
shenanigan words. So let's see. Let's simplify it though, because I do understand that viewpoint 100%. Trust me. Basically, FSR is their you've heard of DLSS, right? The super resolution that helps improve visuals for a game and frame rate, etc., performance, right? Basically, and giving you so FSR is that. And so the question is, with that being the next big push that AMD is using, FSR 4, which is mostly comparable to like DLSS 3, but is the pisser a failure if, for instance, the mainstay FSR overtakes it and is pushed ahead of it and used instead of it? Does that make sense?
So I think Donte has the exact same reaction as I just did. It's just that you came to me first and I was called out first. But I also think that he and I are on the same point where if it's just a matter of them pushing an update through for them to understand, like for it to then, be able to take advantage of these things as they're being developed, then I would say it's probably not a total loss. What I would be really kind of flippin' annoyed about is the fact that I spent full price plus an extra $80 for a disk drive plus 10% tax on top of all of that, which gets you to close to $900 for a console that has very minimal upgrades for at least a year from launch, when there's another console a year to two past that should be way more fleshed out than what this one is, especially because this whole like mid-gen refresh is based on the last mid-gen refresh, which was a true mid-gen refresh, which really was beneficial, right?
Yeah.
So you think you're coming from that to here. Well, if you weren't paying attention to what a lot of people said even before this came out, you're thinking that's what it is. But everybody was warning that this wasn't going to be that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you ignore that, and then you buy this thing, and then you find out, well, a year later, I might get something that like shows a significant improvement. However, what I will say is that I do know a couple people that bought the PS5 Pro, and when they got it, like right at launch, they compared a couple games, and they did notice, they said they noticed significant differences in the graphics for the games that they were trying, and they're people that we all know. So I like, and they're not console worry, or they don't really play
In a
those
positive,
games.
you mean like they're like, hey, this definitely looks that much better than
Yeah,
the
they
PS5.
said they noticed a big difference between the standard PS5 and the PS5 Pro. Now, I don't know if it was the game. I don't know, because then there are those games that have come out as PS5 Pro enhanced, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it was due to that. I don't know. I am one of those people who does tend to buy tech when it comes out, right? Because I really want the upgrade. But even I was like, knowing nothing about all of these jambalaya words, I was like, I don't know about that. My PS5's not on all that often, and when it is, it works fine. Minus that it just randomly turns on when I don't ask it to, which is very frustrating. And that the batteries and the controllers don't last, but that's not going to improve with the PS5 Pro, right? But I do think it, they sold enough. They were smart to bring it out at the same time as their anniversary. So, they had a lot of that hype train with that, as well as like the limited edition color and things like that. But almost every time you hear Digital Foundry talking about the PS5 Pro and what it's doing for a new launch, it's just they
seem very
impressed.
underwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
Is the impression I get.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just more from a technology standpoint, but and maybe that's what that their focus is. But yeah, it seems like it's not like this great leap that justified why you made it.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
So from the dummy edition, that's my opinion on the PS5 Pro and the pisser and the fisser and the
FSR for dummies.
It's worthwhile tech, right?
risser and the.
I'll get my little small bars off on this one because I don't have much more to add myself. So when you say, is it a failure? I think it depends on from what standpoint are you asking about, right? Because like in Holly's example, for people who she knows who purchased it and they made comparisons, if they felt that they saw something that looked significantly better compared to the PS5, they were happy with their purchase, right? So for to them, they're probably like, yeah, I'm happy with the fact that I upgraded. But maybe from PlayStation's standpoint, like there was an article from February that basically says it was lagging behind the PS4 Pro sales. So that had a nice launch where it started off, but then it started to lag behind. So,
but you're talking about $400 difference too, right?
Right.
Like,
True.
Right.
So it's like but higher cost probably means that it was more overhead, so that hurts them more too in that point,
Yeah,
right? For units sold,
Yep.
and then also whatever they're losing their hardware. So in that standpoint, it it could be, they could consider it a failure if it's not basically generating enough more sales of that particular console compared to people still buying the base PS5. So it's going to be up to the beholder. If most people who are owning it, and if they feel that like, yeah, this actually looks better than games that I had on my PS5, for those who are the adopters, maybe they're happy. But if you're someone who is counting pixels, or because I saw some videos that we saw from comparisons where they're saying certain games that were looking worse on the PS5 Pro compared to the PS5, right? There's a few of those that I saw that were people were doing comparisons are, but that's people who are sitting there really doing that. The average gamer probably is not doing that, right?
True.
They're probably not turning on their TV, switching back and forth. And to them, if it looks good, then for them they're happy. But PlayStation probably doesn't feel that it's done for them what they had hoped. And Microsoft, I tell you, I think they look smart by not falling to the pressure of you have to come out with a pro model, right? Because it's seeming like it hasn't done anything to really kind of change the narrative of like, yes, they're really, really killing it in the power and performance narrative, and that people feel like there's FOMO on the Xbox side, where like, oh man, too bad Xbox can't do X. So I don't know, that's the way I'm looking at it.
I would agree with that too. Like I remember we would used to debate that whole, but I'm sure you remember Risk. We'd be like, oh yeah, they're gonna have a pro model for both and all that. And I thought Xbox would go that way, but things, I think, real time reality started to shift, and it was like kind of obvious. Got a little late. That was still a little obvious that they wouldn't go that route. But I knew Sony. I had a feeling Sony still would. But yeah, that said, like the thing about the PS5 Pro and the PSR, like I think they've done a lot of research, like DF, for instance, Digital Foundry, and other people have done these comparisons, and the performances haven't been that great of a leap over just the Series X. So you could kind of say that's been a failure in that respect too, right? Like, what's been the pro advantage? Not really much. You probably get a better
the base price for it.
Like the
is it $799?
$700, right?
So
$700,
yeah,
without
so
the drive.
Okay, so $200 more.
Mm-hmm.
And like, what's the negligible jump? Like, in terms of how if it's outperforming the Series X, what's that percentage? What does $200 buy you? Right.
I don't know how much like the comparison's been as far as the percentage wise, but it's been negligible. It hasn't been like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, if you spend $200 extra bucks,
I would be mad if I spent 200 extra bucks.
Right?
Yeah, I'd be like, what did I do this for? What was the use? But then again, I barely even look at the PlayStation 5. So it's, for me, it's like whatever anyway, right? But I just think that the typical casual gamer won't see much use of the pisser in getting a Pro versus their standard PlayStation 5. I think it's useless for them. To Chris's statement in the chat, and I think it went to Donte's point as well, which was he was saying that the FSR 4 won't even be really compatible with these current gens. He's right. So that's why we're saying, Chris, that what Donte was saying is basically you could see it as a failure too if we go to the next gen and Pisser didn't really do much, and now they moved to FSR 4 for next gen. It's like, okay, so you could just see it as a stepping stone just for FSR 4's I guess improvements in a way. That's really it.
And
well,
you basically made to fall for something. They're going to try to market it in a way to explain why you need to purchase the next PS model, and with FSR 4 or whatever, right? They're going to market it away to try to figure out, like, this is why you need to upgrade. And it's like, the person who bought the PS5 Pro within 2 years and this comes out, are you going to really entice them to say, I'm going to upgrade again? Who knows?
Well, I mean, yeah, just to coming back is you basically, to Chris's comment, is you've basically turned everyone into beta testers, right? If that's the case, if you get to the next iteration, you've sold this Pro on a promise that didn't deliver. That iteration doesn't get published on that. I mean, which is what Mark Cerny's saying. Mark Cerny's saying that the AMD FSR's 4 technology will be an iteration on the PlayStation 5 in Pro in 2026. However, if it's not as big of a leap as FSR 3 to 4 has been for AMD's GPU technology, then it's probably, I would see it as a failure. But to Chris's comment, where he says that no console can run FSR 4. It's limited to the new AMD PC GPUs, the 90 series cards. So they are working in conjunction with AMD, so it will be available on the Pro based on what Cerny's said. So that's one thing you sort of need to know. The other thing to note is I did a bit of digging because someone mentioned to me that FSR 4 was going to be available or possibly available on the Xbox. I did a fair bit of digging to find out whether this is a possibility or this is something that's just pie in the sky or not. I didn't know. But at this year's CES 2025, Chief Architect of Gaming Solutions at AMD, Frank Asnor, said, and this is verbatim quote, "By using machine learning, we can get better quality, but you need a lot of computational performance to do that. That's why RDNA 4 graphics cards are the only ones that have the power to run FSR 4 technology. However," he said, "we may be able to optimize it to work on RDNA 3 architecture. And we are, and we want to do it, but we have work to do for now." So there's a distinct possibility that based on the work that they do with the Pro, is that we may see that iteration then on Xbox. So it's a possibility that then it comes to Xbox. Now, if you've got FSR 4 on the Pro and it's crisping up graphics, but then it's coming to Xbox and it's crisping up graphics, that's another way I can see this as making that PS5 Pro redundant, a redundant purchase. The other thing to think about then is if, with the advancements they've had with RDNA 4, they transfer to RDNA 3, they're putting more work into that. He specifically said they're continuing to work on RDNA 3 when they release the FSR 4. Now, what does that do for the Series S? Little man's taken a bit of a beating over time from me and from many people. But if you continue to work on these AI upscaling solutions, eventually it gets to a point where the Series S, and I'm patting it over here, you can't see it, but the Series S isn't copying as much shit as it was. You're upscaling to 1440p and running things at 60. If you can get that AI upscaling to work as they want to. So then again, I could just see so many ways that the PS5 Pro is just not worth it. Just not worth it. Oh, come on, Amish. Amish AI with the Knock 20. I'm not exactly sure where that's from. He said, "The real Pro experience only on PC."
He's correct. Stand proud, Amish. Amish AI.
That is true. If we're being objective,
that is probably true. Yeah.
No, he's literally correct though. The FSR 4 works off the reason why it won't work on these current gen consoles is because of what they call F8, which is this 8-point computational thing that's insane for AI that these consoles cannot produce.
The other thing to think about though, Umbra, as well, coming back to console, is if AMD and PlayStation, and I think it's something that someone said earlier in the chat, may have been Chris as well, if you're getting these, someone, I think it was BT Maverick, or correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think BT said a PlayStation, Xbox, and AMD should all just work together because they're using the same APUs. But that's already going to kind of happen because any advancements that they make with the console APU, even though they're slightly different, they're going to be able to apply a lot of those learnings to the new Xbox coming through. So a lot of this stuff that they're doing research on with the FSR 4, which I'm 100% sure that the Xbox will have, and the new PlayStation in its next iteration will have. And if it does, looks fantastic. Look at how good FSR 4 was. It's really a step up for AMD's upscaling tech. I think that the research they're doing with PlayStation is just going to transfer to the Xbox. So we, as the Xbox community, well, I'm not saying everyone here is an Xbox. You got Umbra who hates Xbox, he's PC. And
that's not true. And why did I get a pony sound? I just had this guy on Twitter who was upset because I had talked about how I'm all I said was something basic, and I noticed the more basic your response is to something that's seemingly positive, the more upset people seem to be on Twitter. Have you all noticed that? So
never.
Yeah,
it's very bizarre because all they did was Xbox posted what is that? They posted about Assassin's Creed Shadow, and they said that you get to basically stream your game due to Xbox and stream it wherever, right? And I'm like, oh, this is dope, right? That's cool. I like that they're giving you extra little benefits of Xbox, the internet infrastructure, whatever. I said, this is dope. This guy jumps in. Yeah, paying $20 a month for a $70 game is dope. Like upset. I'm like, what are you mad at? Like, first off, and I'm like, you're paying 20 a month. I pay 20. I pay years out, so I'm not paying 20 a month. One, two. You're not only using it for one game. Most people are using it for multiple games they're going to play. And three, like, you don't have to do anything. If you don't want to stream it, don't do it, right? And he's like, well,
Right.
such and such, you're an Xbox fanboy, so this is not going to be a fruitful conversation. I'm like, I didn't even ask you to talk to me. Like, what? Why are you upset? And I'm like, I'm actually more of a PC guy. Yeah. I'm somewhat of a PC guy. Yeah.
I'm somewhat of a PC man myself.
Somewhat of a PC gamer myself. But I just notice people are just weird online, man, for no reason.
You either have a pipe when you're doing that, you're like you know, like, or you're like pinky fingering it like a cigar.
Yeah, it'd probably be pinky finger.
Somewhat of a PC man myself.
Yeah, exactly. You even did the eyebrows correctly. That's exactly how you have to do it.
Myself,
Yep.
man of stature.
Somewhat of a PC man. Yes.
Peasants.
Welcome back, Holly. This gentlemen are talking now. This is a cigarette. The cigar room.
You're in the cigar room. Please step out.
I'm not allowed in here, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Please go make us sandwiches.
Sandwiches?
Yeah.
Oh,
What kind of
damn.
distinguished man asked for a sandwich?
Oh, I want the finest of sandwiches. Reuben.
Gonna get angry.
Looks for you.
That defined look shan't work with us.
Yeah, look. So I think for me, this just doesn't do anything for me as a consumer to look at PS5 Pro and go, hey, I'm okay now. I'm going to invest in this for what when it comes in 2026, 2 years. Hey, we're going to have great upscaling for 2 years, and then we're going to bring something else out. I think overarchingly, nuance. I think that the PS5 failed at what it's attempted to do. If the attempt, though, was, hey, we wanted to bring out a piece of hardware so we could collect data points to improve our AI upscaling tech and work with AMD so that when we bring out the PS6, it's there, then I think that's a success. But I just don't see that as success. You know what I mean? So I saw this conversation on Twitter and I'm like, I don't know how you can chalk this up as a W. You could probably chalk it up as like not a win, not a loss. It's, somewhere in the middle. Cool. But there was a lot of people out there trying to chalk this up as, FSR 4's coming. We're going to get to use it for 2 years and they're going to release a new console. I mean, they didn't say that last bit, but I don't think that bit was considered. And they're trying to chalk that up as a W. And I don't see the win here. I see the win for PlayStation down the track is what I see. And I don't see the win for PlayStation 5 Pro consumers, which is really what you should always be looking at absolutely everything with. You can look at your business side, but at the end of the day, we are consumers, and that's where I sort of come at the industry myself personally. Look, I do want to wrap that topic because I know Holly loves talking about tech whenever we get a chance to.
I actually I want to understand it, but this is really not the place. And then when I ask somebody, they're like, so you know that? And I'm like, I know the words.
She's already starting to sleep. Like, what?
I know the words.
What?
I mean, all you got to think about is.
I mean, look, I
know,
I know some PC stuff, right? But I know. Well, it doesn't matter what I know. Moving on.
Yeah, she's learned her place in the cigar room, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
As we move on, guys, please hit that like button, share us out. We go live at now 8 p.m. EST every Friday because apparently you guys have stopped trying to save daylight. Weird thing you guys do. Hit the like button, share us out, subscribe because we go live 8 p.m. EST every Friday. And guys in the chat, you're absolutely amazing. Appreciate every single one of you guys coming through. Next topic that we want to look at is the Xbox gaming handheld. And some of the quotes here that I pulled from Jez Corden's Windows Central article. Shout out to Jez. Loves his beans. Keenan will blend Asus, which Keenan is the name of the project. Keenan will blend Asus.
I heard it was actually pronounced Kinnan.
It's Kennen. It's
It is?
Kennan.
Yeah,
Only
I-
one E.
I was
Not
corrected
two
by
E's.
that
Americans.
yesterday. Yeah,
Americans can't pronounce things.
I think Hargi corrected me on the show too. So welcome to the club.
It is.
So, yeah,
It probably is Kennen.
I paid it
It's
for it.
Ke with a double N. Yeah, it's probably Kennen.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll edit that part out. Oh, damn it,
I
we're
thought,
live.
I thought it was odd when it was called Keenan. I'm like, Keenan. All right.
Yeah, it's Kennen sounds
And
good.
Peel?
Who comes up with Kennen?
Right. Or
Well, like we've got a new
Wayne.
handheld called
Yeah.
Shirley. Anyway, so
surely
Kennen
you jest.
Kennen will blend Asus stylings with updated design conventions more typical of an Xbox style device with more prominent grips and a dedicated Xbox guide style button. You can so here's some of the things that are probably, I think, a bit of an issue. You cannot bring most of your Xbox library to the device. It is a Windows-based PC essentially, and I've put in quotation marks at the end there. That's why Riskit is not buying it. It'll be somewhere in the middle with a base model price range between $499 and $599 USD. These are all to be taken with a pinch of salt because obviously they are rumors. And it apparently could be announcing either next month or at the June showcase. Is a couple of different things. One from Tom Warren, one from Jez Corden. There's some conversations there around what it is. I think this is a swing and a miss for Xbox, man. This is not how to step into the handheld market. I mean, like, if you're branding something as an Xbox thing, like, great, but it's not a big deal, right? If you'd have just branded a ROG, like, just be like, here's a Xbox styled ROG, like you do controllers. But to me, this it that's all it is. It just seems like a sort of Xbox style ROG and not a massive deal. It doesn't even seem like it's going to be the top of the range sort of Z Extremes, and maybe they're doing the same thing that PS5 Pro is and trying to pick up data points out of the people that buy this. But for me, again, swing and a miss because I have been looking at a handheld and a portable, but I want to be able to play on my library. That was the kicker. I had that conversation with Kay Asante sometime back last year. So yeah, for me, you can't play your Xbox library. Like, what's the point of it? I may as well just keep lugging the S around.
We were talking about this inside a chat, right, the other day, like in our chat, and then it was like, like that's a deal breaker. I don't know if I'm in the target market for that anyway, but if I was to do it, the main reason would be that I want access to the games that I have in my Xbox library, right? So if I don't have access to those, then I might as well get like a Steam Deck or a ROG Ally, right? So what is this going to do that would be more beneficial than the ones that are already on the market? So just wait for Xbox's actual branded game to hopefully deliver on what we want, which is something that plays our Xbox games, anything that I can play on my console for the most part, right? That's my view.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's the most rational sense. I've heard a few people saying such and such. What's up, Ponty? I'm with you on that though, Risk. The thing is, and I thought it would be just a regular kind of Xbox branded, version of the ROG or something like that too. Kind of like a Razer Kishi or something like that edition thing, right? Where they put the Xbox, home UI button or whatever on it and all that. So I think you can kind of look at this somewhat like the Pisser and FSR. I think this will be used by them like kind of a test bed. Yeah. So
I knew this was going to come back around.
I feel like you could use this. I think this is probably going to be a use case where they're going to use this as a test bed for their actual handheld in 2027, excuse me.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2027 is when that goes live. And by then they'll probably have a leap in tech that allows for so much more, including the Xbox Everywhere plan, which is Project Latitude. And Project Latitude, for those that don't know, well, many of you don't know, is the plan to allow for full use of your library on any device, which will bring to fruition the claim.
That's the one. That's the Xbox brand.
This is an Xbox. That's what that is.
Okay.
So if you all keep seeing that number,
this thing that's coming out supposedly, I think at the end of this year, is that the target?
Yeah, it's the target for the end of this year.
What is this? What's their pitch on this? What is their pitch on?
I don't even know how they're going to pitch it
with them for this.
I want to know that too. Yeah.
Well, isn't it okay? I thought this was just another like Ally 2.0, but it has more Xbox branding. We all know that the current Ally 1 and 1.5 or whatever you want to call it, right? Those were developed very carefully in conjunction with Xbox. Like they weren't branded Xbox, but we know, like, because they even came out and sat on the couch and did like the whole PR campaign, right? With Asus and I can't remember who it was from Xbox, but it was somebody from Microsoft. Sat on the couch, talked about how hard they worked together to get this thing up and running and moving forward, et cetera, et cetera. So I thought this was just going to be like a little like an upgraded edition of that. I don't think it is specifically branded Xbox, right? I don't think it is. I could be wrong, but I don't think. I don't know.
Yeah, so
we'll see. It's all rumor right now, right? But
the quote was an updated design design conventions, more of an Xbox style device with the prominent Xbox grips, so like that sort of the handles at the side apparently, and a dedicated Xbox guide style button. Yeah,
okay.
The button. So,
it's got that stuff, but it's not an Xbox handheld. It's an Asus handheld that has taken a lot of design complementary or assistance from Microsoft.
Yep.
Yeah.
Essentially.
So keep that separate in your mind. I think like it's not a Steam Deck that's just for Xbox. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to be Windows based.
But is it's supposed to function like a Steam Deck in a ROG?
That's the thing.
It's supposed to function like a ROG.
But yeah. I'm wondering that though is if the implementation inside wise in the tech, is it going to be more like the Steam Deck where it goes straight to the Xbox UI? That's what I'm wondering. That part we don't know enough of. So I know it's Windows based. Maybe they'll have it where you can switch modes and you can go straight to that like you would the Armory crate inside of the ROG, and you go straight to the Xbox UI as if you would on the Xbox, and you can switch to, I guess, Windows mode to go straight to Windows and like you would on the PC. So that's the thing I'm interested in seeing. They are going to have obviously, like you were saying, Holly, branding of the Xbox button is going to be on it. If you all look at the image I did for my show the other day, it's pretty much just like that. It's right there on the left side where the I forgot the name of those buttons, but basically those allow for like you to switch to TDP and all that type of stuff. And the shape on the bottom is going to be shaped very much akin to an Xbox controller. So they're going to have implementations of that in it too.
Yeah, but like, that's not an Xbox. But that's not an Xbox handheld.
Yeah, correct.
That's my point. Right. Is like they're going deeper, right? Because they're with Asus because that was their original partner. They already had all of that set up. Stop it. And so that they're moving forward with that. But like they're not actually branding this as okay. This is the first official. Hey, Game Seeker, happy to see you. This is the first official Xbox handheld iteration. They're not doing that yet. So
right.
I think that's an important clarification.
Yeah, so for sure.
It has an Xbox button, but I won't have access to games I've already bought, right?
No,
that's the problem. Yeah.
But see, okay.
That's the hurdle they have to get over.
Right. So I have to purchase games like for what, Steam or Epic? And I can play those games?
Yeah.
To be fair, if it's first party, you have access to it.
So here's the problem. Here's the problem with that. And things could have changed, but the way I understand, and I could be totally wrong, but as I understand the way it used to work, and I'm assuming it's still like that, but it's going away, is that when gaming became a real thing, like way back, late 70s, 80s, right? And when you created a game, you sold the rights for the arcade edition. But the arcade edition did not give you rights to sell or produce the console edition. And it didn't give you the rights to produce and sell the PC edition. You have to buy the separate rights to all of those types of different publishing mechanisms, right? A handheld is the same thing. So Like that, I think that's still the way the legacy has moved forward. So that's why when you buy a console edition, you don't just automatically get some random copy on whatever platform or through a store on
So that was
PC.
Xbox's initiative. That was Xbox's initiative, is that they
Right.
have Play Anywhere games, right? Where so if
Yes,
you buy it
but-
on console, you buy it once and it transfers over to everything else.
Everything, yeah.
We're not saying that this is any. No one's saying that this is any different. What we're saying is because of that, or that this is an Xbox handheld. We're saying because of that, it's a bit of a swing and a miss. Like you're branding an Xbox handheld that cannot play Xbox games. Like that's a bit of a weird thing to do. Like you like cool if you want to add some colors, but if you're building an Xbox handheld with a partner and then not having the hypervisor on the actual handheld so that you can play your Xbox games, that's a little strange.
Only with the
Seems like
caveat,
the whole branding portion just like has the Xbox button, it has the design similar to an Xbox controller, but outside of that, it's not addressing that particular market or the segment of folks who are like, I want a handheld device that gives me access to like Game Pass in my Xbox library. So
your
like,
own title too. Yeah,
still wait, right?
That's the thing. Yeah, and that's the thing. And you're right. So like if they have to get past the hurdle of allowing us to be able to play owned games, and that's what the Xbox the Project Latitude, that's all about. So they're going to get there. It's likely going to be around the time they go with theirs, though. So that's why I say I get why you all will say I'll just wait for the Xbox handheld. Yeah, you probably best to do that. I have the ROG. Holly, you have the ROG. I don't really see a need for me to be like, let me go get this one, right? I don't see the need for that for this one, even though it's likely going to have some differences that will be cool for me. It's just not going to be enough. I feel like I'll just wait for better technology and all that in 2027, right? And actual implementation of the Play and Everywhere model that they're going to be going at, which again, this is an Xbox. I know some people will roll their eyes at it and they're like, whatever, shut up. That's not an Xbox. But we're only saying that because we can't play all our games everywhere. Once that actually gets done, once they implement that, which I think we're going to hear about. Yeah, and then there will actually be true comment when they say that. So
I like B2's comment. So is that correct? So like if it's Play Anywhere, so if it's an Xbox Play Anywhere game, you're good?
Yeah. So play any Xbox first party games, absolutely. But anything you buy on a console as a third party game, you cannot play on it. Just like the ROG, no different reason. Exactly the same reason.
Yeah, so if it's third party, Play Anywhere, you can play it there too, though. To be fair,
Holly, I sort of get what you're saying, that this is just a ROG handheld. Is that where you sort of where we? I did interrupt, and where are you going with it? Because I want to see where you're going, because I've got some thoughts to add to the back end of it, I think.
No, go ahead.
No, I want to see where you were going, because I feel like you were headed somewhere.
I don't remember now. It's fine.
All right, so here's my thing. Here's the thing. Without that Play Anywhere with every single fucking game, I do not see the point of this at all. I see no point to this handheld at all, and I don't understand what the play is. What's the play here? And the worst part of it is the back. I'll say at the back end is, so there's no hardware benefit because they're not, apparently they're hitting a mid-range sort of tier handheld, right? So there's no uptick in hardware. There's no uptick in game performance. So there's that. There's no access benefit. So you can't access all your games. You can't access all your third-party games if you're a console gamer. So that doesn't bring over the people who haven't come, like me, who would if they could access all of their third-party games on your Xbox handheld. Cool. So I don't understand the play. And the worst part here is the optics. The optics of it aren't great either. Like, you released an Xbox handheld that doesn't play all of the Xbox games that you buy. Like, yes, first party games. Absolutely. So not only do I see this as a bit of a swing and a miss, I see this as a bit of a foul ball. Like, they tried to hit it and it popped over the back. Like, I don't get this. I don't understand it. And here's the other thing. It's just a rumor, and it doesn't make sense to me. So maybe this is not even happening. maybe this is not it. Maybe they've got something
I mean,
wrong.
it seems pretty credible, right? If two sources are kind of talking about it, so it seems like it
sources,
exists, right?
But what
it's definitely credible. I can tell you that for a fact. It's certain. I just wonder though if maybe Microsoft is holding one card in their hand, because Ronald, rather, I would say Reynolds, but it's Ronald. Ronald is he's going to be at the GDC, so he's likely going to tell us some stuff tech wise that's going to be an improvement for that device, as well as what their plans may be. Kind of going, he might hint to what they're going toward for the future. So I wouldn't write anything off just yet. We still have more to see, and maybe Microsoft may have held some things closer to the vest in this case that we're going to hear about. So I don't want to write it off just yet. But if it is as we see it as was reported by Jez and such and Tom Warren, then yeah, I'm with you all on this. That is for us at least that have a handheld already. It's not really.
I mean, I saw. So I'm just going to do a quick round the table. If anyone can tell me, like, what's the point of this? One of the things that I saw Jez saying, is a bit of I don't get that point of view. Is he's happy to see Xbox do a device like this so they can get the data points. I'm like, using you can. I don't. I feel the same way. It was similar. It's a similar sort of thing. So I think OEM.
Can they've gotten some of that from the ROG though? Like in terms of
right, and I see it as a PlayStation 5 Pro. I see it as a little bit of we're releasing some hardware or software, which we see all the time in the industry, that's not quite there yet, just so we can collect some more data so we can get it there. It's like, what? That's do your R&D in the background, man.
It's the pisser.
So the only thing I would say is this: if the tease or the test is because of it's testing like some UI elements, right? So like this is how the device that with Latitude that we're planning to release later, this is kind of direction we're going, and we're using this to test how our OS can function on a device like this, if this device is going to do that, right? But if it's going to function similar to like a ROG Ally, right, then then we're back at what is this device for, outside of the fact that it has some design and aspects of a controller with the Xbox button, right? So, I mean, if it's the latter, and you're literally doing something where like the OS and navigation side would give us a glimpse as to how an Xbox branded device would work, then I guess I kind of understand, because that's going to be different than what we're seeing from the current devices on the market. But I guess that's the part we need to know, because right now it just seems like another type of ROG Ally device is what it seems like to me.
Yeah,
my
thought would go to, is it just going to be ASUS, or are they going to go to like Lenovo? Are they going to go to one X? So that's what I'm interested in seeing too, because the future seems to be that they're going to rely on third party OEMs. So I'm kind of wondering how that's going to play out. I'm actually very interested in it. I keep saying this, and I know it probably sounds like I'm not being genuine, because I've said it on Boom Show. I'm actually very excited for Xbox's future, despite me being a PC master racer at the moment, because so much of what they're going to do is leading, to
open market.
And you get to play all these PC games on Xbox. It's actually very interesting. It's an interesting time if you're an Xbox gamer. I'm sure PlayStation is going to try to implement it too, by the way. But this is like, we're at the forefront here. You all, honestly, I'm telling you, Xbox gamers should be excited for the future for Xbox, in my honest opinion. There's like a lot of good, exciting stuff coming the way outside of just gaming. You know what I mean?
Well,
yes.
Holly?
Did you finish our sandwiches, Holly? A little of her died just now.
Yeah, I know. That was like a deep sigh. What's the sandwich, Holly? What's the sandwich about?
Holly, back to the Azus.
Gotta watch out for the.
What am I missing?
Back to the Azus. I'm curious.
I want like 18 different languages in her head.
No, yeah, right. Just so many thoughts. Like that thought cloud. Like, yeah.
Club? Was it turkey? What's happening?
It's a fist sandwich.
Oh, the knuckles.
Oh,
Give me the
knuckles
knuckles.
sandwich. Quite a delight. Mm.
All right. All right.
A delicacy.
So I think it would be a very interesting proposition for people who don't currently have a handheld, right? Because it's the new one. It'll be probably a little more ergonomic.
Yep.
Provided, of course, it still has access. If it doesn't have access to the Xbox library, which obviously we know it doesn't, as long as it has access to Steam, Game Pass, Epic Game Store, GOG, Itchy, all of those, right? Then it's the same thing as what we have now. So, but probably just a little more ergonomic, probably a little bit cheaper because the ROG Ally is not cheap. Or at least, the latest editions usually aren't. I think that Xbox is really trying to break the barriers on the copywriting or licensing across multi-platforms, right? It made sense when the industry was beginning that that's how it was, but now with even just internet, right, and being able to stream through the cloud and other things, it's not it's kind of an outdated way to do things, especially with as many games that come out in a given year now too, trying to juice people to buy multiple copies of a game, just it ain't it, right? There's so many other options. You're like, well, I'm not going to buy it over here. I have it on my console at home. I'll just buy this other game that I thought about getting. So player engagement and things like that, I think would be better if those barriers are taken down. I think that this is I 100% agree. I think this is their attempt to do another iteration without them taking on the
Cost.
bulk of the cost, plus also it's not just cost, it's customer service, it's like there's a lot that goes into that, the stocking, all of that. I do think that they will come out, really, I think is indicated, right? They will come out with their own handheld when it's time in a couple of years, and it probably will be the best iteration of a handheld if you do game primarily on Xbox. The Steam Deck has done really well, and we know that, like, if the ROG Ally was doing very poorly for Asus, they wouldn't keep making them, right? They're obviously they're doing iterations, right, to perfect what they're doing. I just think handheld and portable units are where everything's going, especially for the younger generation. So it makes sense that they are investing a lot of time in R&D and sapping all of us who do have the disposable income that are adults gaming, right? Because you're not spending $700 on a handheld to give to your kid to play on the bus on the way back and forth to school, right? You're just not doing that. So it's interesting. I do think that Xbox is going the way of third-party OEM consoles. I think that they're going to have to be very careful, and I do think it's going to be multiple. I don't think it's just going to be, Asus even on this handheld. I do think it's going to be MSI or Lenovo or like Logitech, right? Because they did G Cloud with them. So they have some partners I think that they are pretty comfortable working with on a regular basis. But they're gonna doing third-party licensing for something that is branded with your platform on it. I think, like, officially branding, not this hybrid thing that we're talking about, but when it goes like full swing, I think that they're really going to have to do a lot of quality control and really do some proper licensing with these partners off the front, just to make sure that their brand, which is already, having, like, riding the struggle bus in the public perception, doesn't have a partner that's just really doing a piss poor job or a pisser poor job of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just absolutely that's the future. But but you should be operating in the present. That's one of the Donte will be back. It should be operating in the present, and I just don't feel like this is a.
I'm not saying that. Yeah, this is definitely a transitional learning console. That's how I feel about it. 100%, right? But some people are okay with that. Like I think it's pretty obvious to all of us that this is not necessarily what you want it to be if you're looking for a handheld of your console to take on the go. 100%. I feel like it's obvious. But there are plenty of people like you were like, well, I've been looking for a handheld for a while. You have decided against this one, but it doesn't mean that everybody else hasn't, because if there's a handheld, like the Xbox handheld isn't for another 2 years, you might as a lot of people are like, well, I'm not going to wait 2 years. I'm just going to go ahead and get this in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the price of a ROG Ally over in Australia, you're looking at around about $1,600. I think for base model $1,450. That's a lot of outlay for. I'll just get this for a couple of years.
That you would have waited for a year. Yeah,
exactly. And then when you sort of did mention that there might be a reason people who are on the console to pull the trigger. If it's not access, it's not price, it's not, because I don't think price is a thing. Like realistically, when you look at that, it's still $1,450 AUD. So I think it's still quite an expensive. If the reported price is true, form factor is the only thing I can think of that's selling this handheld. If you're an Xbox fan and or you're just happy with form factor, and you're not happy with the ROG Asus's previous form factor, then that's the only reason I could see to buy it.
Yeah, form factor, and maybe some people who are have expendable, income. They can say, "Hey, I want to get this." Some collectors are. They'll get same thing over and over. Yeah,
I feel like this is a better investment. Using that word loosely, right? This is a better investment than the PS5 to PS5 Pro upgrade financially.
Yes, definitely, because it gives, if you're a console player. And you want access to Steam, and you're like, fine, I'll just throw in a way to get access to Steam and all that. Then yes, 100% gives you access to more than just one library. It opens that up, and you've still got your first party stuff there. So yes, if you do not have,
and you do still have Game Pass,
you can't wait. Yeah,
you do still have Game Pass on the machine. So
yeah. If you're comfortable not being able to play your third parties, I think it's just a swing and a miss. For it. Not and I know Mo in the chat was saying Asus is releasing it, Xbox isn't, and 100%, man. But also Xbox is greenlighting it, so it's not it's a little bit of a weird.
I don't think
collab.
Xbox is. Well, Asus is. They're just getting Xbox's blessing, right, for the branding portion of it. But it's that's part of these third-party OEM deals, right? So it's just this is our turn to get within the foray because other OEMs are currently doing it. Right, between ROG and between Lenovo, etc. So this is theirs. But again, I just think it's not serving the need that I think we were hoping it might be when we heard it initially. When you learn it doesn't have access to your current library. So it's we'll see what when it comes out. I'm curious as to what the OS looks like.
I think you both sort of made really valid points there as well, and touched on this, but. It's not just getting the data points from the hard data points from the hardware. It's also getting the data points from how do we manage this company managing our brand? You know what I mean? So if Asus is to then make a full Xbox handheld, or Legion is to make one, or whoever. How do we manage? What systems do we need in place to manage these guys, managing our hypervisor, managing our software, and managing the hardware? And how does that work in a partnership? So that may be the dip into the lake to see how this sort of works for that third party future. Like you, Umbra, like we've been saying like Holly said today, it's like we've been saying for quite some time. So they've obviously got to make those leaps, and they probably didn't. And we always say they always go in 2 feet way ahead of time. So maybe this is their slight,
Well, it's hard too. Like you were saying earlier, do the R&D in the background, but in all honesty, it's really hard to get a lot of the data for some say the
I let the first one go. I had to get the second one. I'm sorry.
The new version, like the new version, the mobile version of Windows, right? That they're trying to develop and all that stuff, right? Like you could do a lot of tests internally, but it's really like it's hard to get that much data internally until it's out in the wild and you just start really seeing what's happening, right?
Yeah, agreed. And then customer service, all this sort of stuff as it relates to you as a company. You got customer issues. It's obviously going to have an effect on Xbox. There's brand issues, and they want to figure out how that works down the line. And I agree with that. I can see that. But I just don't see the value for consumers now.
Well, you could. That's fair, and you could see like, they test like when I was at Xbox. They were showing me like how they test controllers. Like they showed me all the machines with the pneumatic button pressing things and all that stuff, right? And how many times they press a button and then they move to the other button, then they hit it from the side or straight on, or like all of this stuff, right? But like you could do that in a lab and you can see like everything you're seeing is the like the thing that's going to go wrong first for everybody, right? But you have to kind of wait until it's out in the wild to see those lesser percentage issues that come up because it's just a volume thing.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. I can see the value of it down the line for Xbox. I can't see the value of it in the present for a consumer is very basically what I'm saying. Same as I can say the same thing about PlayStation. I can see the value of what they're doing with AMD and releasing the Pro to get the data points for the consumer in the future. And I think it will vastly improve PS6. I don't see the value for the consumer right now. And so I'm looking at this handheld in exactly the same way, like I'm saying, in exactly the same way as I'm looking at the PS5 Pro. Like it's, like I wouldn't recommend it. Riskit does not recommend. But hey, if you're in the market and you think it's time to pull the trigger and you got some disposable cash and you're not worried about playing third-party games that you bought on console and you head out, buy it. What can I say? We're going to move on to the next topic. Before we do, please hit the like button. Share us out. We go live 8 p.m. EST every Friday. Hit the subscribe. Hit the bell. Head down in the description. Check out, panel members' socials. Head there. Hit the likes. Hit the subscribes over there. You guys in chat are amazing. Holly's about to say something.
Both of my links are broken.
I'll fix them. I will fix them. And Super Chat's going to jump over to those. Because we had a couple come in. We had Game Seeker with the Canadian $5. He said, thanks to whoever gifted me a membership a couple of weeks ago. Have a good night and enjoy your weekend, everyone. I assume he was dipping out. It's the only one that we had. And we had a member chat as well, which I did star, but for some reason cannot see. On this side of the thing, so I apologize for that. But I believe it was Game Seeker as well. No, it was William Riggs. He said, "Good evening, everyone." With the member for 9 months. Shout out to William Riggs. Really appreciate you, bro. I got to jump out of this program and jump into another program to see those member chats. I hope they fix that soon. God knows this program is amazing. Holly loves it. Next topic off the rung. Salutations. The Oblivion remake is coming soon. So the notes are sort of pulled off this one is, don't hit the button. According to the noted insider Nate the Hate, the Oblivion remake is set for reveal in the coming weeks. So we're talking about literally imminent announcement. Nate claims the game will likely be released before June, while sources have told VGC it could arrive as soon as next month. Umbra, you should be really excited here. This is a UE5 remake. The Oblivion remake is reportedly fully remade, trying to get away with it, in the Unreal Engine 5 with 6 reworked gameplay systems: stamina, sneaking, blocking, archery, hit reaction, and HUD. So they've updated a lot of the mechanics, physics to the game, UI things. And it's been developed by Virtuous. The company has previously worked on franchises like Call of Duty, Tomb Raider, Dark Souls, BioShock, Holly, loving that. Battlefield, Riskit, loving that. Uncharted, Umbra, loving that, Pony. And Horizon, and is currently supporting Konami's development of the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. So look, this is pretty exciting. here's the thing. Everyone get upset. I'm going to go off camera and mute myself for 5 minutes so you can scream at me. I have never played Oblivion. It was never my thing. So I'm actually super, super hyped for this. Holly, seeing as you've never played it, like me, I'm super, super hyped. I like to see if they do the remake thing, not like Metal Gear Solid, from what we're hearing, is not a mechanical update. We didn't get any mechanics updates. So, and it's a pretty old game. So to see that they're doing, those mechanical updates, you're sneaking, you're blocking, your archery, hit reactions and stuff, as well as HUD stuff, and then the full graphical remake. Are you super hyped for this one? I'm definitely going to jump in day one because Game Pass, I hope.
Yeah. I am very excited about it because some people I know, this is their favorite game of all time. And I am just not a person who enjoys old gameplay mechanics. It really frustrates me. Yep, that was you, not me. So yes. He's waiting until I talk so he can Chat, we don't have access to the soundboard. It's really unfortunate. So yeah, I'm excited for it. But I was going to tell you because I saw it and I was like, oh, Riskit would appreciate this. Well, sort of. Mythic Quest. The tester with the gray hair. The girl.
Oh, the really annoying one. Who becomes something else. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
She is the voice of Aloy.
You kidding me?
Nope. Super serious.
That's why I find Aloy annoying as well. That's crazy. So annoying. So annoying. I love how they made her so annoying in the most.
She's so annoying.
Honestly, I'm telling you, Mythic Quest, guys, you have to watch it. It is the best. I didn't know Ubisoft was involved in it. I think I said this last week. If you talk to me about Mythic Quest, they get all giddy like schoolgirl. But where was I going with that? So Ubisoft is involved, and they did go to Ubisoft offices, and they had a look at the dynamic in the office and stuff as well. It's interesting. I've watched a whole bunch of interviews about it, but it's basically an office drama, not drama, an office sort of satire, I guess you would call it.
Yeah, she's Tiny Tina too. Game adaptation. Thank you. I forgot that one.
Oh, is she?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so Tiny Tina's annoying too. So she really is. But yeah, I love it. And I saw an episode where Poppy was young. And honestly, I don't know how they nailed that. Like, she is perfectly Poppy and even sounds like Poppy in the young and the old. So we don't normally talk about TV shows, but yeah, honestly, Mythic Quest, if you have not seen it, definitely go watch Mythic Quest. It is such a good series. It's part of the reason why I haven't quite finished Avowed, because I'll do when the kids are all in bed, I'll get my hour of Avowed in, hour and a half, and then I'll be like, cool, now I got to watch 2 episodes of Mythic Quest. And by that time, it's bedtime. So yeah, I'm loving it. It's so good. So fucking good. You have to watch that game. Anyway, back to Oblivion.
Did you see the COVID episode with the toilet paper?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, that was awesome. So good.
That's cool.
Love that.
Yeah. Anyway, Dead Rising, the DRDR, the deluxe remaster.
Yeah.
They did not update the mechanics. Unplayable.
Yeah.
It's very, very sad because I love Dead Rising. It's my favorite zombie franchise. I played it for 3 or 4 hours and I just effed off because it drove me bonkers. Can't do it. So I'm glad that Oblivion is not holding on to the old and trying to sell it like it's authentic.
New. Yeah. I don't like when they do that with older games. There is, I mean, look, it's what was the one that Special Nick rattled on about for a couple of years, and then it actually came out. It was a GoldenEye remake, and then you jump on that. Back in the day, I was a gun on that game, but now you boot that game up, and it's just it's old, man. Mechanics have moved on. It doesn't feel right. So I could play through it graphically if the mechanics were better, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Umbra, how you feeling about this? Another UE5 remake. Trying to get away with it, guys. What's going on? Another UE5 remake. You must be pretty super excited, especially off the back of how well Avowed ran. There was a lot of there's a lot of talk how UE5 just tanks CPUs, GPUs, et cetera. Not gonna lie, I've had quite a few crashes with Avowed, but other than that, when it comes to pop-in graphics, smoothness, how it looks, any sort of frame drops, Avowed's been amazing. So I've got a lot more confidence in UE5. It's still not anywhere near its id Tech engine, but still, how you feeling about this?
It's a lot of slander that set me up, right? That's a whole bunch of slander to begin this whole topic right there. Did y'all feel that? I'm all for the remakes, man. PlayStation always does it. We know that for a fact. I'm never against Microsoft or any game, provided that they put the necessary advancements on it to bring forward like that. Yeah, I'm for it 100%. The game in question, are you talking about okay, hold on one second.
Oblivion remake.
Oh yeah. So we talked about Oblivion, the remake, a few times. Even on my show I talked about it, and that was obviously leaked during the FTC trial situation that would be happening. I think we're also supposed to get I think they're working on a Fallout one too, I think, right? Fallout 3 or something like that. So no, I'm super excited for it. It being in the greatest engine in gaming currently, Unreal 5. Yeah, for sure. 100%. It take is cool. It's just limited in some ways that Unreal isn't. Unreal is the unleashed model, even with its issues. But no, all seriousness. I'm glad they did this, because I don't know if you remember, years back I even said I wanted to see an a Bethesda game use Unreal Engine. I didn't want them to use Creation Engine anymore. What happened?
Yeah.
Hold on.
My mind just went places. You were like, I wanted to see some Unreal, and you paused. And I was thinking about your photo earlier.
Oh no!
It was a upvote quite a bit.
Yeah, hey, they saw those gams.
Yeah, so you got 50. I don't know how this works out, by the way, because these two percentages don't add up, and they should add up to 100%. But I don't know. But this is literally what YouTube said: 59% smash, 40% pass. So you're ahead, man.
I feel honored and offended at the same time. I don't know what to think. Damn you all for doing this to me. Yeah, listen, I feel like though this Unreal, excuse me, I almost said Unreal. Oblivion is on my Mount Rushmore of gaming. So them coming back with this to give people who haven't maybe not have had a chance to play it, and for me to get a chance to play it again in all its glory, I am very excited for that. So I feel like with the IP that Xbox has, more than Sony, they should be the ones pushing forward with a lot of the remakes, in my honest opinion. And I would like real remakes. I'm talking about the pause when I say this, meteor versions, pause, of
you mean like your thighs?
Anyway, I would want more like media versions.
Got him.
Okay, so this is you this time, Holly. Okay.
Yeah.
This is you. This time, Holly.
You can't blame us for this, for derailing.
Yeah, we've been behaved this
exactly
this show. This is you this time.
But yeah, I would want. And look at them still reacting and talking about smash it and stuff. But I would want it more substantial. I'll change the wording. I would want a more substantial remake akin to what Capcom has done with their remakes. Personally, that would be better for me. But I'm excited to see what happens. I didn't know when the actual release date or month would be. So hearing people come out, Ecstasy and all these other people come out and saying it's next month, I guess. Yeah,
we're talking a matter of months.
Yeah, next month or so. Yeah, I can't wait to see it, man. I'm really excited. And that also, I think that also tells us too that they're likely going to have a show. I don't think they're just going to be like, oh, here's Unreal, you know, the new Unreal Engine version of Oblivion. I think it's going to be probably some Xbox based show that we'll see this in. So
you would like a Solitex asking if you would like a more girthy
oh
version.
no, no.
Yeah, so I mean they're talking in the next couple of weeks, so that's crazy. We might see it at the GDC, so that could be an announcement over there. They might use it as their tech showing for UE5.
Good
But to
point.
hear it's updated mechanically, and I agree, I don't have a problem with remakes. You know, there's a guy out there called Remake Station or whatever. I don't have a problem with like remaking games from way back. Dead Space was awesome. Resident Evil 2 was great.
It's a
Yeah, I
good
love
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do it. Bring games back from way like if PlayStation announced a siphon filter, Ben Studio like doing a new siphon filter, I would be loving that. That would be fantastic. Like, I would celebrate that. But I'm not celebrating you know, a Last of Us 2 graphical update. It's
Last of Us 2 remaster 8. Yeah. Like, yeah, nobody wants that. By the way, I don't know if you all saw the news with People Can Fly earlier. Did you all see that?
No.
So People Can Fly, which many
What
should
happened?
know from fame of you know, having
No
done
Man's Sky. Oh no, sorry,
Yes.
that's a different one.
Judgment and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have in Outriders. They did a deal with they've made a deal with Sony now. They entered into an agreement to work on a game codenamed Project Delta.
Wait, weren't they already in an agreement though with Xbox
They
for
are.
a game as well?
They are. Yeah.
Okay. What?
I saw somebody was like, they said this is gonna be what's the name of that game? That dragon game with platinum Scalebound. They said it's going to be another Scalebound all over again.
Here we go.
It is tricky. I trust People Can Fly. I don't think they'll pull anything like that. So yeah, the code name is Project Delta. I'm almost certain, to me, in my mind at least, that could be some new game in the SOCOM universe or something like that. Risk. That's my thinking right now.
That's what I was thinking. I literally was thinking that exact same thing. Like this, that's Delta sounds very SOCOM-ish.
Yeah,
that could be the thing. And people have been asking for that. And honestly, PlayStation could put some easy wins on the board by remaking some of these classics from back in the day. Like,
yeah, I don't know why they don't do that.
No, do we need
nuts.
more remakes?
Yes.
Well, yeah. If it's like unused titles,
isn't that how we've gotten here though? We're like, because like now studios are unafraid to like make something new, man.
I mean, I'm gonna have room for both. Again,
right,
like,
but also make something new. Don't get caught up in
just
you get
remakes.
to this point where only the known commodity is the thing that you're putting forth for your base, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like it makes it seem like you're scared of basically pushing the envelope and trying something new.
Yeah.
They kind of are,
yeah.
Like the whole advent of the AAA thing is like it's failure.
So we'll be back into the same thing, which is that, you know, like right now, that's what they get gas for. Is like, oh, what remake are you guys doing now? You know, another remake. I don't think they want to be known as the remake station.
Yeah, too late for that. But I mean, thing is, like, I hear you though. I mean, but I feel like they can do both. I'm gonna do a Phil Spencer. I hear you, but. But yeah, infinite gas. Oh hell no. But I feel like, that to me, I think there's room for both. They just have to. Sony's problem has been that they haven't had enough new IP. Microsoft doesn't have that problem. So Microsoft should be doing that. They should be going to their classics and bringing them forward that way. Honestly, they got so many unused IP, so much unused IP. It's insane, actually. And Sony, to be fair too, like, if they didn't just keep doing it to Last of Us, nobody would really be making fun of them. If they did it for the vast variety of IP that they have, that they have as well, I don't think many people would have made it a complaint. I think people would have been fine with it.
Yeah, it's they're remaking the games from the PlayStation 4 generation. You know, they're making Last of Us, Days Gone, Horizon. Like, why you've got a bunch of IP back in the Jack and Daxter. You've got like heaps of different
Jack and Daxter.
Yeah, heaps of different IP that were like fantastic. They were big hits back then. It's not Revolution, Resistance. You've got Resistance. There's a whole bunch of IP they could remake that they could do, and Xbox is, and I'm fine with that. Bring back some, early PlayStation 3 Xbox 360 IPs or even original Xbox IPs. I know Phil Spencer will not do brute force, but Phil, just because you don't like it, that doesn't mean it won't hit hard, man. I'm telling you, Crocodile running around with a machine gun is a good thing, right? We have them in Australia. You come check it out, Phil. Well, look at that. Oh, just a bit of a public service announcement. PSA. I don't know if any of you guys saw this, but I'm not surprised. And I think it's, sort of talking about sequels, remakes, and sort of leaning into what's successful. Saber Interactive Focus announced Space Marine 3. So pretty excited about that. Like, I think with 2, they've got something, and with 3, they can really iterate it on it. And I'm glad to see so quickly they're coming out and saying, "Hey, we've got something great." It just feeds into. I don't understand businesses. There's, what's the remake that everyone's been asking for from PlayStation for a ridiculous amount of time? It's a Souls-like game. I didn't like it, but everyone loves it.
Yeah, Bloodborne. Yep.
Give the fucking gamers what they're asking for. You're like, we want to make this amount of millions. We want to make this amount of units sold. You start giving people what they ask you for, you're going to sell the copies, man. And when you do it, when you do those remakes or you do those updates, don't fuck it up. Like, lean in. Do it properly. You'll sell millions.
Go to Capcom route. Again, the Resident Evil 2s and 3s and 4s. That's what they should be aiming for. Give a real
100%.
remake. Yeah. I think the
100%.
problem with Bloodborne, I think, is from Software also has say in that, and they don't want to.
They don't want to do an exclusive. They would love to. They would love to make a second game. They would love to do even a full remake remaster, but Sony holds the keys because they hold the actual IP, but then FromSoft doesn't want to do another platform exclusive.
Right?
So. Exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Exclusive. They're dead.
World premiere.
Shout out to Lotus Esprit in the chat. I hope the move went well. I don't know if you've completed the move to Mexico, but I hope it went well. So thoughts with you, and shout out to Lotus Esprit, gifted 20 memberships. Really appreciate every single one of you guys in the chat. You guys are amazing, and you do make the show, and we couldn't do this without you. So I appreciate all of you guys coming through and supporting us. Thank you very, very much. We're going to wrap it up. I'm really looking forward to that Oblivion remake, though, because I think Avowed's just given me a little bit of a taste for RPG. I'm like, it was good, but I want more. So if Oblivion comes the next couple of weeks, it's gonna be fantastic. I cannot wait. Donte, we didn't go to you. I do want to get your thoughts on Oblivion, and then we'll wrap it up there. Muted. I think he knows he's muted.
Yeah, my bad. No, I'm a fraud. I've never played Elder Scrolls Oblivion, so I've only played Elder Scrolls Online. So this would be something that will entice me to actually get to play it, right? So that's my standpoint. I'm looking for that from that view. It's like, oh, okay, it'll be modernized graphics. Hopefully they add something additional to it in terms of mechanics, right? So that way it feels more like a modern game. But yeah, this will give me an opportunity to actually check it out, because I'm late to some of that stuff, I'll admit. What?
Yeah, I missed it. My bad.
Shout out to the chat, and shout out to Lois Spree for the gifts. That was awesome. Cody's what's a fraud? I know you're in the chat, Colt. Say something.
Oh my
Bazinga.
God. Yeah.
Did he even say hi to all of us? Did you even say hi once?
He dipped on me.
He said hi to Donte.
Yeah, that's
dipped
it.
on me. Colt, we're talking to you.
Yeah, look, again, like I said, super looking forward to it. Same as Donte, never really played, and I don't even play the Elder Scrolls Online, so it's just never my bag. I didn't gel with it. I don't know why. It's just a Bethesda thing in me, but I'm looking forward to the Oblivion remake. It's if it's in UE5, I'm super hyped to give it a go, and hopefully be on Game Pass. So
Big Bad says it's better than Skyrim, so that's what's up.
Well, then
Did you play Skyrim, Donte?
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
A little
but
bit.
I had a potato of a computer, So it's like, yeah, wasn't a great time.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. No one likes
PCs.
PCs.
Speaking of Skyrim, using my PC to mod it with the Novus mod.
Oh man, hold on real quick.
You can hit the music. Yes.
There we go. Where's something?
Yes. The Novus mod.
Take a moment.
Brought to you exclusively through Nexus.
Oh no.
It is spectacular, man. We talk about remasters and stuff. You should see how insane that Novus mod makes Skyrim look. Oh, Riskit. You gotta move up, man. You gotta join us in enlightenment. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Never
do it.
I never do it.
That's my next thing is
Mag's here?
an upgrade on the PC. That's my next thing. Yeah.
Well, I can abuse Mag? Like in voice?
No.
Donte, are you talking to us or
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
You are so low on my end.
I'm also talking to myself, but it's all good.
okay.
A little bit of both.
I'm just talking.
We got to wrap it up. There will be. We'll go live next week, as I said, working in Perth. So I'll be jumping in the studio every single week. But there will be some exciting news next week for the show. So hopefully, if I can get it sorted before next week, if I got time to do it, there'll be a little bit of exciting news. I've sort of kept it from everyone, so should be interesting to see the reactions. Anyway. Guys, fantastic week. We're out of here. No, I'm kidding. Umbra, let people know where we can find you, what you're up to. How's your week looking ahead?
Yeah, looking ahead, I'm trying to implement some new ideas for the fix. I'm going to actually mess around with that DaVinci Resolve. You've heard of that, right, Risk?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn some things with that. Definitely want to finish up with Split Fiction. I actually wanted to jump on tonight, Holly, but it's late now. I know. So, although we could go back and replay some levels to try to get achievements. Just saying.
Could y'all hold off for tomorrow? Because I'm gonna try to go to bed tonight early.
Yeah,
and I do want to see y'all continue to play because I was watching y'all when y'all started the first night. It was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I don't think she has the energy to be up tonight to play it anyway.
He doesn't live normal hours. Yeah. No. We probably have, I'm guessing, about 4 hours left. We're gonna try to do it in one stream.
Yeah, so. Maybe 3 to 4 hours, I would imagine. Yeah, something like that.
What time? But yeah, look at starting it though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah. What time are you thinking then? No, Holly.
We get started at like 6 o'clock.
6. Okay.
So all right, 3 p.m. my time. All right, that works because I'm going out shooting in the morning, but I'll be back in the afternoon, so that works.
Shooting.
Yeah.
Shooting range.
Pew pew.
Nice. It's been a minute for me.
Desert,
like humans and stuff. You just standing out there like popping.
Sir,
people walking by.
And
you just
we can go out in the desert here and we can shoot at things. That's what we do.
Shoot the snakes. We don't need them.
So. Yeah, y'all got enough wild life out there too. Yeah, for sure.
Get off my damn lawn. God damn it.
I see Biff is working on it too. Nice, Biff. And thank you, Soil Tech. Soil Tech is a real one. He comes through and supports the fix all the time.
For real.
Yeah, but as far as that, just working on DaVinci, trying to learn that. I found a bunch of tutorials for that, so I'm really going to try to learn that and implement it into the fix and upgrade the fix visually in some ways and stuff like that. I also do want to kind of learn that new program called Meld with MELD.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to use that instead of OBS, but my guy said that it has real potential and it's going to be really good. It's just not quite up to snuff yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. So I got to check into it. Kay is talking about it, and Kay might do something special where he does a live stream of it as he implements it to show people how it's done. So that's going to be pretty cool to see. Other than that, man, I'm going to be gaming. Speaking of Warhammer, I have it on PC. I think I might install that and play that. Actually, I got it installed on my gaming PC. I might play that tonight because I don't know what to play if I'm not playing Split Fiction. So why not?
Go play Call of Duty.
Yeah. Anyway,
skill issue. It's a skill issue there, right?
And if I play it with you, you're going to be yelling at me. I can guarantee you that because I'm.
Umbra's the guy on the lawn, like the Donte shot.
Yeah.
Umbra, we should We should plan a night to play Outlast Trials on stream.
I'm down for that. Hey, you know,
Hey, how many players can play? How many?
Four.
Four? Yeah, you
Yeah, I'm
jump
down.
in too. Jump
Yeah,
in
I'm
too
down.
with us.
Play?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm down.
Riskit, you should jump in too.
So
Wait a minute,
good.
you can't.
That game is so
I mean,
good.
you know, we are a pod.
Wait, no,
oh
yes, you
wow,
can.
look at him.
Yeah.
Look at him.
You can jump in actually.
We need
Yeah.
a chicken sound on this thing for
All
someone
right.
that chicken. We need that. Where's, I don't have one on this. You can program things, right? On the soundboard.
You can add stuff. You can add stuff. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Noob on
So,
this thing.
Umbra, I'm hearing that you're going to play a bit of Call of Duty next week, and the fix is going to go live and look extra special.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Ollie,
Stupid.
let people know what you're up to, what your plans are for how's your week, how all that stuff. By the way, just to let you know, I believe the girl, the tester, Ashley Birch is her name. Yeah, she's been in stuff you wouldn't absolutely awesome. Noughts, Borderlands 2, Aliens, Colonial Marines, Saints Row, Persona, Team Fortress, Life is Strange, Mortal Kombat, Fallout 4, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Ninja Turtles. She was obviously Aloy, which is Miles Morales. She's been in like everything. Any game you've ever played, she's been in it. Which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. But Holly, let people know where they can find you, what you'd be up to, how your week's looking. Salutations. She's checking to see what this lady has been in.
No,
Holly?
I knew that she was in stuff before, and because when I watched Mythic Quest the first time, I was like, somehow I found out, and I was like, oh my gosh, right? And then I kind of forgot, and then I saw it again the other day, and I was like, I have to still risk it because now there's somebody else, right? That like is doing the Mythic Quest journey. It's so good.
So good.
So good. Yeah, so I am going to be streaming Split Fiction with Umbra tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow evening. I have stuff to do during the day, but maybe tomorrow evening. And we're gonna finish it. And I've been hearing that the final boss battle in this game is one that you will never forget. That it's supposed to be just like even Skill Up said that. He was like, the final boss battle is one of the most epic things you will ever see ever. So
Nice.
I'm really
What do you mean
excited to
even?
hear that.
What do you
What?
mean even Skill Up? Even,
Skill Up.
like he's
Even
like,
negative
exactly what
Nancy
she
Skill
means.
Up thought
Yeah.
it looked
Exactly
good.
What she means.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell him that you said that. All right?
Respect,
Anyway, keep going.
though.
Yeah,
Respect,
okay,
though.
you
We
do
just want
that.
him to be happier, like James again.
Right.
So I'm excited to see what that brings. And then I will start streaming Doom Eternal sometime this week. And after that, I will be on a set schedule, and that's pretty much it. I might not be here next Friday. I probably won't be here next Friday.
But
Just gonna leave us, huh?
Yes.
so what's okay? What's the well? I
might pop in. I might pop in for a minute or two, but I can't. I won't stay.
Don't gas us up. That's
Sometimes
Umbra
you gotta-
show.
That's Umbra's. Yeah, that's Umbra, not me.
Sometimes you gotta pop in and showrunners.
Oh my god.
But that is not my thing, by the way. Don't listen to them.
He's
Definitely
like, hey, don't go out there
definitely.
spreading that rumor about me. Right. I'm just like, yo, let's shut this down.
And I was so
Ooh.
mad because people did
Ooh.
not watch the stream. They're like, "Well, I'm farting around." I'm like, no, don't. I'm like, it's
So the
insane.
joke is, chat, there's a certain character that you wind up playing who farts rainbows, and that's like your special mechanic. And Umbra was just having
Umbra's like,
way too much fun with it. He was like,
all over the screen for like
my
15
character's
minutes
sitting
straight,
there,
dude.
and you just see a fart and this thing crossing the screen back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm like, can we just do the back and forth, back and forth, back and forth?
It was
They're
fun.
like not doing whatever the objective is because all you see is just
Because
like,
Umbra is
It was fun as hell. You all play it, you'll see what I mean.
and then the next day, I saw this tweet from like the New York Post or something like that, where it was talking about, it said, it was an article promoting an article about this is why you have more gas on an airplane. So I retweeted it and and called out Umbra and said this might help you with your gas problem without noticing.
Look what you done started. Look what you done started.
Right.
I love
It's a
it.
good time.
I love it. This is
You
great.
had,
It's
you had
forever
Jen
branded.
from you had Jen from what you call Windows Central saw and was like, oh
Yeah,
I'm
she
like,
was
oh,
all.
Lord, now.
Yeah, she liked it. Yep.
So,
I mean,
Epic.
but you know the thing. The thing is, you don't even have to have actually done the thing that people are talking about for it to just become it, like the crying in the car meme. Never cried in my car,
See?
but it's all I ever hear. That you cried in the
See?
car. I'm like,
I'd rather get known for that than being a farty man or something. I don't know. So that's why I had to stop
farty
man.
Farty it's like man. Slender Man, but you kill people with your farts.
Right. Instead of party man, Donte, like Prince. Farty man. Farty man.
I have come to release my gas.
Yeah. Pressure valve off.
Look, we do got to get out of here. Donte, let people know where they can find you. I don't know if Holly finished that up. We got
Let's
on the
just
gas.
make this quick. Yeah, catch me here on Fridays. Catch me on the socials. But between the Twitter, I'm not going to call it X, even though whatever. Donte J Moody there. Donte J Moody on Threads and on Blue Sky. Donte J Moody. And then obviously catch me here on Fridays. It's been a pleasure rocking out with everybody as always. Shout out to the chat. You guys are the absolute best. So thank you guys for coming through and sharing this out and liking and having great conversations. We appreciate y'all. Peace.
Absolutely. Nothing more to say off the back of that fantastic week. See you all next week. Hit like, subscribe. 8 p.m. EST. Daylight savings. Go on.
Body
Over.
man.